Hi, I'm Sher Ireland at a beautiful marriage relationship education center in Tigard, Oregon. I get so many couples that so wonder where the romance has gone. And they come in and they feel very badly because at first they felt so in love and so wonderful about their marriages. And it seems like after a few years, things have gotten kind of stale and kind of boring. And marriage, over the long haul, when we do repeated experiences over time, it's going to get boring unless we do something about that and do it intentionally. So, I want to talk a little bit about whatever happens to the fun and how we put it back. Romance really equals a combination. If I were to do a formula, it would look like creativity plus spontaneity plus planning. Yeah, it sounds a little funny to say spontaneity and planning in the same sentence, but when you think about doing something special for somebody, it's going to require a little bit of planning. And the whole idea of doing something really fun and different and unique, and so that we don't get bored in a relationship, is going to really require that we dig into our creativity banks and do something differently. So creativity plus spontaneity plus planning, okay, equals romance. What most couples do, it seems like to me, is when I ask them, how do you guys go on a date? How do you have fun? And they say, we go to dinner and a movie. Now, dinner and a movie is fine. But if you do that exclusively as your dating time, life can get really, really boring. And, you know, you can go to the same movie and the same Olive Garden in Topeka, Kansas. And we live in Portland, Oregon, where we have hundreds of opportunities for outdoor recreation and many even free things, particularly in the summer months. So getting a hold of some of the publications that really stress having all kinds of opportunities to go do different kinds of things would be a really good idea. We have Willamette Week, we have OregonLive.com, and we have the Friday A&E section in the Oregonian that have hundreds of different things besides dinner and a movie. One of the things that's really important to recognize is that if you aren't intentional about your marriage and putting the fun back into it, it will go south. If you don't paddle hard, you're going to go south in the river. And the point is that, you know, sometimes amidst all of the stresses of work and kids and all of the things that we have to do, we forget that sometimes our marriage is to be for joy. So one of the biggest things about having fun together is finding shared interests. And I have what I call my cookie jar exercise. So what I have couples do is I have them list out as many things as they can possibly think of. And these aren't like trips to Hawaii or big things where you have to spend a lot of money. This is like going for ice cream at midnight, or eating off a special plate, or having ice cream for appetizer instead of for dessert. Just little things like that that are creative and fun and silly, that don't cost a lot, that are just a way to put some spontaneity and fun back into the relationship. And so I ask people to list out as many as they can, and then I have them exchange papers and check off on each other's any of the ones that they would be willing to do. Now notice I didn't say that they had to be thrilled about it. They just need to be willing to do it. And then I have them cut up all those little phrases that tell them about what to do and put them in a jar. And I call it the cookie jar. And so each week, and they take turns, and they can flip a coin the first time it happens, but they go and they reach into the jar and they pull out a fun activity to do, and they set aside the time each week to go on a date and do this fun activity. This eliminates people having to plan for it ahead of time. It eliminates people arguing about what they're going to do because they've agreed ahead of time. And it ensures that people are actually going to do it if they use the cookie jar. So then I have them put those slips of paper in a second jar, And at the end of the year, or on their anniversary, or New Year's Day, or whatever, they can spill out all those little pieces of paper and reminisce about all the fun times they've had over the last year. I also recommend people take a camera, use the Japanese methodology, and record your dates so that you can take pictures or videos of all the fun that you've had and use that for reminiscing as well. A component to having fun is where people do childlike things. Things a child might do. Maybe you didn't even do it in your childhood, but things that a child might do. Having water fights, all kinds of soap things, being able to have pillow fights, being able to use squirt guns on each other, jumping rope, playing jacks, blowing bubbles outside. And you can do these with your kids or with just each other. Go to a park and swing on the swings or on the teeter-totter. Things that a child might do, and these are high energy fun, and they're lots of fun for both your children and for just the couple, and more memorable than many other things that might cost a lot more. I'm Sher Ireland, and at A Beautiful Marriage, we like to have people learn how to have fun and learn how to love intelligently.